There we go. Okay, cool. Alright, that works. So, welcome back, all two of you, and the third of whom is helping. Today we're going to cover basic data structures. A data structure is any way to group multiple pieces of data into one variable for easy access and easy use. Today we're going to cover arrays, array lists, and maps, specifically a hash map. And this is just kind of the basics to get you started with how to work with a significant amount of data stored into one variable. So as always, we'll do kind of our boilerplate code. Hey! Good to see you. So we'll get our boilerplate code going. Oops, static void main string args. Okay. Can you guys see this okay? I see you squinting.
No, it's the file name.
Oh, sorry, yeah. The file name should always match the class name.
I figured that out after I
I got you. So yeah, well, once we have our boilerplate, first I'm going to show you basic arrays. Crap, I should have reviewed. And arrays are basically ways to store multiple bits of information into one variable. So we can do something like this. Huh? What? Oh. It would help if I was in the correct directory. Ah. There we go. Oh, does the... Oh, that's so weird. Okay. So when, yeah, God, I haven't... You get a memory address. Yeah. So, basically, one of the problems with... Whoa, hello. One of the issues with using more complex data structures like arrays is that if you want Java to kind of show you what it looks like, it's a more complex way to organize data, so it doesn't really know how to do it. All it's saying is that we have something like an integer at some memory address, right? But you can do all sorts of things with. Of course, now I have to remember. Yeah. So we can loop through this array to print its things. Remember the for loop from last week? So we can do something like this. And remember in the past our for loops looked like this. Be like Java, as of Java, I want to say Java 8, could be Java 7, they introduced a shortcut where you can just say, hey, I have this collection data structure, specifically an array, and I want to go through each value of it and just set that value to I. And so this will loop through just like we've done in the past. It will allow you to print each value. Whoops. Hey, welcome. So we're just getting started, so you should be fine. And there's only outlets here and there if you need. So yeah, this is a basic array, and this is how you iterate through it. You could also still do the more traditional array. You could do something like int I equals 0, I less than basic array dot size. Size is a method defined on arrays that basically returns how many items are in it. So you can do a more traditional loop this way, and it'll do the same exact thing. Oh, whoops. What? Oh, that's right. Yes, thank you. It's array lists that have size. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, array list gives size.
Yeah. Getting my data structures confused. There we go. So for normal arrays, you can either do this sort of notation, where you have your array, and it takes that array and it iterates through each value, setting it as I, right? And that's what we have here. Or you can do more of a traditional for loop, like we learned last week. And you can do int I equals 0, and then your termination condition is when I hits the length. Remember, because it must be less than, because remember we start with 0. So 0, 1, 2, up until the length, but not including it. Otherwise it'll be like, hey, that's too big. I don't know what that is. And we get the same exact thing down here.
That's what we add.
Mm-hmm.
That insert string that's completely related to it has the object-oriented programming.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's just the I.
Oh, do they allow that?
Yeah.
Was that Java 7 or Java 8 or?
No, it's from the Java 5.
Really?
No, even for Java 5, it's still my favorite.
Okay, we'll just do that. It'll be easier for everyone.
That's more just like C.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know I originally learned Java in 2010. So I'm a little out of date. This is really cool though, thank you. So we can just do that. So that's an array. The nice part is arrays are very, very basic. They're very small, they're very fast. But they don't have a lot of nifty functions. And they also, they really, there's something more powerful. So what we can do is, if you go to the top of your file, in Java has a very large standard library. A library is a collection of code that has a lot of things you can use to make your life easier. The standard library is the collection of code that comes with the language. So you can do imports to pull those libraries in. So we can do something like this. And an array list is another data type. An array list is very similar to an array. It's actually a little... Can you guys still read? Yeah. So we can do something like... Actually, we can do... God, it's been so long. I should have reviewed beforehand. I think ArrayList has a pretty print, right? It's been so long. So yeah, it's rare that you ever need to like print it out. Normally I have a debugger. Can't wait till we get to the point where we can do IDE.
I don't think ArrayList is going to show...
It's going to show memory address again? Or it'll show ArrayList object. That's right. That's okay.
No.
We can find out.
Yeah.
So an array list So with a normal array, you say, okay, I want to store some data type, and then this basically tells it that it's an array, and then you set it using this. Okay, that's just kind of things you need to memorize. An array list is slightly different. It's much more malleable. It takes in its data type between these less than greater than signs, and it must be an object, right? So this is the primitive integer, which doesn't really have any methods on it. It's not fancy, it's just raw data. And an integer like this is a full-fledged object. And I should turn off, nah, I won't worry about it. So lots of properties and methods. So we can do something like, well, first let's show what this does. Ooh, what? What do we got?
I don't think you can.
It doesn't.
Argument? Yeah, I've never done like this.
Can you scroll up on the code part?
Sorry, where? Up here?
Oh yeah, I just want to double check. I made mistakes.
Oh, okay.
Reading and
Where are you at?
I'm not sure.
I have a typo somewhere. Oh, it doesn't like the array thing?
No, I don't think you can put that as argument.
Okay. I should have reviewed a little more before. I was doing JavaScript before this, so my head is all sorts of messed up. So we can just do this. Actually, I wonder if, let's experiment. No, it doesn't like that.
You can only edit R.
Hmm? What's that?
Still put a regular array in there, but it has to be already defined and initialized.
Right.
And then you just have the things here.
Oh, okay. Man, I'm just going to bite the bullet and look up how to do that again. Ooh, except I can't look it up because this thing is super slow. How did I do it here? Where's ArrayList? Oh, I just added it in a loop. That's so lame. Why did I do that? Okay. Yeah, so we can do, let's just say 20. There we go. Oh, it does have a pretty print. So for ArrayLists, what the hell? Weird. Okay. For ArrayLists, they have this nifty little add function, and yeah, you able to see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, is it warm for anyone else in here? Yeah. Is this what I want? Is this CAC? Or is this CAC? Anyone? I can't read. Okay. Is the AC?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's not even on. Hey, cool. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Cool. And then ArrayList has. All right. I'm so spoiled by an IDE. I don't memorize any of the methods because when you're using an actual programming environment, it just has them all for you. So. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, I don't want to make you guys set up an IDE right now, especially with this internet. So I'm just gonna have to be lame and look up the ArrayList spec. So, but this is something you should get familiar with. Actually, it would be worth it to teach them how to use the Java spec. So if you look up docs.oracle.com, They have no. Where is it? Is this what I want? Frames. There we go. Come on. There we go. So this is the Java API documentation. This is the most useful thing ever. So remember how we imported java.util.arraylist? If we go back to here, remember this part? We have java.util as a package. So up here in the top left-hand corner we have packages, and you can look for java.util. And here are the actual classes in there. So we have abstract map, arraylist, arrays, calendar, all sorts of nifty stuff. We're actually going to use hashmap in a little bit. But you can go to arraylist here, and it'll give you a nice little description. And it will show you how to create an array list. And it will show, that's right, initial capacity. And it will show you all the methods that it has. So an array list has nifty things like clone. You can clear it out all at once. You can check to see if it contains an object. So we can do something like I forget, does it do valid? It has to be comparable. Okay. So let's say 5. You can do something like this. And there we go. So contains is super, super, super useful. This is one of the main reasons why people often opt for array lists over arrays. Just because it provides a huge amount of these nifty little helper functions. I believe it also has things like index of and reverse. I'm going to wait for people to type this down real quick. Does this make sense so far? Not really? What's up? So you also have things like is empty, remove is really useful. You can remove by either oh, you guys can't read this. There we go. Is that a little better? Can you read that now? Okay. So these are super useful. You can either remove by position or by the type of object. So you can do something like, let's say we want to remove the number 5. We can do something simple like rlist.remove. Actually, let's say we want to remove the first element. So also, if I'm going too slow, let me know, guys. And we can additionally do oh, I don't have soft trap on. How's that? Thank you. Just get this, there we go. Taskbar problems. So does this make sense so far? People are still typing. I'll be patient.
Right, array list remove is right. Remove the dog. Yeah, it's kind of object file, but if it's an index, the index there.
So for this one,
No, yeah. Yeah, over there, yeah. Now it's a remove. Oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah. So this is removing the object,
Okay.
right? Because this array list doesn't store ints; it stores integers. And when you feed an object
Right.
to the array list, it looks for a matching.
Matching the address.
Right. So we could do something like this, which actually is probably a better example anyway. Whoops. And then we could, let's just print this. And then we can do something like, sorry, also typo. This needs to, there we go. Oh, the typing. Sorry, I go way too fast. So this is just another way to illustrate what we just did. But just because when we were doing removing the integer, it was a little bit confusing. You can remove by either position or remove an instance of an equivalent object. Any questions? Did it break? Is it alright?
Yeah.
Or is it compiling?
Say looking for.
So did you import ArrayList?
Yeah, I've imported Java into arraylist. Can you just go to the top?
Sure.
I think I messed up somewhere near the top. Class data structure.
Let me see what you got.
Where is it going?
Not fun, simple,
No,
stringless.
Oh, no. Sorry. That's my error. Everything else, it seems to.
Whoa, because for Java, you need to give it the class name, not the file name.
Oh.
It's all good. No, it's all good.
Oh, it worked just fine. I was just.
Hey, it happens, man.
That's thing.
I've done it a few times here too, so.
Okay, now everything's cool.
Yeah.
I thought the code was like just sticking fail.
Oh, no. So that's, any questions about, any questions about this so far, or are you guys kind of like, okay, I get it, I'm bored?
Got it.
You're good? You good? You good? Antonio? Okay. And then the rest is pretty simple. Oh, if you need to get back to a normal primitive array, it has a toArray function. It's basically just a way to get back to the way we did it here. It's just a way to convert back and forth. So it's not really worth covering in too much detail. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, so we can also add items in at certain positions. So we can do something like, we can say, let's see, how many elements do we have? 1, 2, we'll have 3. So we can say at index 3 add an exclamation mark, right? So add adds it to the end. If we wanted to add it to any other position, we use add, and then we say the position we want it to be in, and then the string, and then the value we want to put in. So we do this. Is everyone up to speed? Not rocket science here, this stuff's easy. There was something else. What else was it? Blank attends, no. Oh, right. So this is important. And if you want, so we've been manipulating arrays, but we haven't actually been pulling anything out of them. What you can do is, let's say we wanted to access a specific value within an array. We can say, all you need to do is the array, and this works for both arrays and array lists. And then you just say the number of the element you want. So remember, we started 0, so the second element is going to be 1. Sorry, I got that backwards. You use get with array list. Oh my god. Second element is. Oh, how perfect.
Is, right?
Yeah. And then I was a little bit confused because I'm, again, used to Python things. So remember we had this basic array earlier? If you want to access the member of a basic array, that's when you use that bracket notation. Alright, so everyone's good? Caught up? So far so good? Is everyone caught up?
Just double check.
Just double checking. Okay. Is it compiling for you? Or are you getting what you expect output? Mm-hmm.
Two, right?
Yes.
Good.
So yeah, that covers the basics of arrays and array lists. We're going to cover a third data structure. It's called a map. Specifically, we're going to do a hash map. And so what you'll want to do is you'll want to import hash map. You want to do that at the top of your file again. And the order of your imports doesn't matter, except for readability purposes. Okay. So once you've got that, remember earlier when we said what was in an array, an array list had to be a string or it could be an integer. A hash map is actually a key value store. So what that means is that you store some key, like think of it like a room number maybe, and then we have our class would be inside, right? So this would be like the room number and then this would be the class inside. And now I don't remember if it's add or set, or I'm going to have to cheat for a second. And it is put. So this is how you create a hash map. Very similar to how you create an array, or an array list. And to add items into it, use the method called put. Put takes in two parameters, and they are, the type of the parameter must match whatever type is here. So this one must be a string, and then this one must be an integer object. Whoops. Wow, I butchered that. What's up? I'm so glad someone got that.
Oh, the document.
It's always fun going back to basic stuff and you're like, how did I not do that? Yeah, because like you...
So I had to do, like, I had to use the, like, when I was learning this one, I had to use iterator,
Yeah.
use the tool to pull the maps.
Oh, gross. Gross, gross, gross.
1.4.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a long time ago. So in this case, again, put is to put a value at some location. You can also use get. So we can do something like So again, not crazy rocket science. This is how you put stuff in a map. This is how you get stuff out of a map. The nice part is that the methods match what you would say in English, at least. Although I wish you could write in Korean, that would be cool. And then there's also a, I want to say remove. Let's find out. Or system. Whoa, what? That's completely wrong. Oh my god, I'm making a mess over here. Let's see if I'm. Yeah, there we go. So again, just kind of basic functions. So maybe we should have done more today. Again, we could try to make the calculator or we could get into objects. And objects is when it gets fun. But we'll see. Any questions so far? I should have done 2 different monitors so that I could plan. We'll do that next time. Good. And then, where is...
So then, if you add, if you put the same name, same key,
Oh, that's right.
value, that's important.
Yeah. So, thank you. So let's say that we wanted to change the value at first key. You can just overwrite it. So, oh, and then we also need to do keys that don't exist and checking if keys are there. So we can do something like 11, because why not? So again, kind of basic stuff. Does Boolean have a 2-string? No, that's too complicated. But only the object. Yeah, so let's do this differently. And then after this, I'll stop and let people catch up, because... Okay, cool. Let's make sure I'm not a...
Instead of doing if, could we have just done
Method contains key.
Oh, because it contains key?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, Python. Oh, killing me. I need to get someone else to teach Python. Unless maybe you want to teach Java, and then I could go full-time Python. We'll talk more.
Not much of it.
Yeah,
Time.
yeah, it's a time sink. Yeah, that works. So this is, again, not rocket science. So you can overwrite values. So in this case, first key was storing 10. We just replaced it with 11. Again, not a big deal. And you can see that down below here. Replaced first key's value with 11. Maps also similar to array lists, how array lists have contains. Maps have a contains key, which will check to see if a key exists. This is really, really useful when working with maps, because if you try to retrieve a key that doesn't exist, your code's going to blow up. And that's bad. So first you check to see if it exists, and then you try to pull it out. And again, this is just a demonstration of, because it doesn't contain a second key, this evaluates to false. Because this is false, the if will not execute its contents. So again, old condition stuff that you guys remember, hopefully. And then other hashmap stuff. I think that's most of the important parts. You can remove things, we did that already. You can get size just like before. You can get the values, which is really useful. So we can do something like, but it returns a collection. Yeah, let's just try it. So we can say, I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try it.
Just all values.
Yeah. So the values method gives you all of the values of the map. I believe there's keys as well. Let's try it.
Key set.
Is a key set. Let's take a look. Key set, yes. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Because you can have multiple values, multiple duplicate values, but you can't have multiple duplicate keys. So yeah. And I forget when you do hash maps. I actually haven't tried this, so let's experiment. Let's see what happens if you try to do a for in loop on a hash map. I'm going to guess that it spits out the keys, so let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Right string value. Key.
that'll do the key, or do you have to do both? I don't remember. Let's see what happens, because I'm not entirely sure. Nope. Huh?
That's the map that.
For each not applicable, yeah, so it doesn't.
You get to the map like key set.
Right.
And
Yeah, so we can do something like this. Yeah, so you can't, so maps themselves don't allow the for in loop, but the set and the collection, which you get from key set or values, those allow you to do for in.
you don't do the right. All you gotta do is put the entry set.
Yeah, so you could do something like, entry set will give you,
For the value. I mean,
that seems silly.
oh, but it's not the answer.
Huh, interesting, okay. And then you can always do something like, you can loop through the keys and then you can say, or, just to be abundantly clear. There you go. So again, just kind of learning how to use maps, kind of utility things. And that's pretty much all there is for the basic data structures. There's much more advanced data structures, but we need to do objects in greater detail before we can do that. We've actually have been working with objects this whole time, but we're now at a fork in the road. Do you folks want to try to A, build a calculator, or B, continue with the curriculum and start learning about objects and classes? You want to build a calculator? So 1 calculator vote, 2, 3.
I don't actually use it.
Okay, I figured. So let's do that. We're going to try to build a calculator in 40 minutes, or at least some semblance of one. So crack open a new file, and let's go for no one's doing anything.
Are you got those GUI too?
Oh,
GUI?
oh God, no. Jogyo. Hi. So let's get a calculator going. I apologize for slowing things down. So again, you want to create a new file. Let's go ahead and call it calculator. Crap, I should have taken their silence as a second to actually check something out. Do you remember how to system.in.read?
Use a scanner.
Scanner, thank you.
Use a scanner, not the scanner class.
Right.
Java uses that scanner.
Java what? Dot scanner?
Q.read.
Okay.
And then scanner. Scan, new, scanner, and then the
System.in?
yes, get back in, yes.
Okay.
And then you need to close it when you finish.
Right. Sorry, I want to get this kind of boilerplate stuff out before. Sorry, I should have done this while you guys were not paying attention. Where is it? Is it called close? Close, cool. Okay, so what this does is a scanner is a way to read information off of some sort of stream. A stream is a way that data goes back and forth. Okay. So in this case, we're creating a scanner, which again allows us to consume data off of the stream. And the stream is system.in. Remember earlier we would do system.out.println? System.out was the command console that we were typing into. Right? So that was the output stream. So we were calling out, and then we were calling print. We were printing to the output. Simple enough, right? In this case, we're going to be accepting input from the user to enter calculation things. So instead, we're going to do system.in. So scanner will scan information off of this system.in stream. Okay? And then I have to remember, that's right. So then we can do something like, give me the first number. And what this will do is we'll create the scanner. We'll print out text saying, hey, give us the number. And then if you type an integer in, it will take that integer and it will save it into the value of first number. And just to test this out, we'll do this to make sure it works. Okay? So this is one way of reading input from the command line.
Just a
Huh.
more of a aesthetic question.
Sure.
You know how it always puts the enter the number underneath? Is there a way to keep it on the same line? So give me first number and then I'm just curious.
I think you just do print.
So what did you do?
Print instead of print line. Print line adds a new line.
New
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. Print line adds a new line after
Okay.
whatever is printed.
Cool.
Print just prints it and then remains on the same line.
Okay.
So print line is basically the same as doing this, but we just use print line because it's just easier.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's the same.
Question.
Good question. Good question. Are you caught up? Or are you still getting there? Still getting there? Okay. Are you good, Nick? Cool. Alright. So then, whoa. We can ask for an operator, and because wants to do it that way. Whoa. Sorry, give me a second. I don't remember scanner things. There you go. That's right, okay. Sorry, it's not next string, it's just next. Again, it's been forever. Okay. Hmm. Ooh, cool. So next we'll just pull the next string off. So and then we can basically do this over here. We just do it for a second number. Whoops. Again, not any sort of rocket science. Okay. Is everyone good so far? So now what we can do is, so we have our first operator, we have our second operator, I'm sorry, we have our first number, we have our operator, we have our second number. Now what? You guys tell me.
Equal.
Equal. Well, oh yeah, to execute it, let's just assume that once you give, let's start with the basic and then we can expand it. So let's assume that once they give us a number, they give us an operator, and they give us another number.
You need to calculate it inside the program.
Yes, so how should we do that?
Maybe we are very probably something like emit first number plus the second number. But
Right. But,
exactly how much that is.
right, now, The problem is, what if they enter a minus?
Oh, so it has to be, you have to do this command based on the operator.
Correct. So what would that sound like if you were to say it in English?
But where did we enter the? Okay, I know.
Yeah.
And then first number, then you have to have the operator, and then second number. But, no, wait.
So if we were to just do this,
No, it doesn't.
right? So that won't work. So I kind of skipped ahead to this point because I want you to worry about the logic of figuring things out. Okay. So we have the first number, we have the operator, and we have the second number. Okay. First number is an integer. Second number is an integer. The operator is a string.
Oh, we have to define what a plus is, what is a multiplication, division.
Yes. So how should we do that?
Probably.
Anyone can answer, not just him.
I think there's, well, usually most programmers have a library function for math. I'm not sure if we're going to do that.
You could, but it's not necessary.
It's probably going to be we have to equal the string to the operator value.
Okay, so
So we have to initialize. No.
you're thinking along the right lines.
I know we have. I'm not sure what the string. No, we have to initialize something equals something. Right?
Not initialize. It's a word that starts with a C. It outputs a true or false.
Oh, yeah.
So compare, but yes. So tell me what to type.
I don't know.
If? Okay. What next?
Oh, if plus no.
Hold up. No, before that.
3.
Well, no, I want you to tell me. There we go.
If parentheses. String. No, wait. Operator
Yep. Well.
equals
Yep.
plus,
Yes.
and then you have to. I don't know the command. Oh wait. Well, I know we have to do that 4 times. Plus multiplication subtraction.
Let's just start with plus for now.
Open parentheses. If operator equals plus plus. System out print. System out print. Print. Parentheses. Multiplication mark. No. Print line. Yeah. Total equals. Total equals parentheses. It has to be plus. First, where is that? First number. Right?
Mm-hmm.
First number. I don't know what the command. Plus, we just do plus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Second number. Let's see. Parentheses. Yeah.
Now, what I would actually recommend doing. So, this actually, I'm not sure what this would output because it's ambiguous. It could output the first number and then it could output the second number,
Yeah.
or it could add them together and then output the sum. I'm not sure. Let's find out.
Put a parentheses around the entire thing.
Hey.
It tells it order of operation.
Yes.
Ah,
So let's try it.
I love logic.
Huh? What?
So
Something definitely not working.
Oh no, that's a Python thing.
compile's okay, but definitely did not add any.
Huh? Oh. Well, I fucked up. Strings.
Our only tax.
Strings are special though when you do comparisons. Strings are strings are not primitives. So primitives you can use equals equals. For objects,
Also, strings we have to do an actual. Okay.
Oh.
We probably for the operator.
Mm-hmm.
We probably should have an error message because I know I put in just one and numbers, and it just I had to restart it. So
Yeah.
we probably should have an error message there.
So how would you like to do that?
Well, for the numbers, is there a way?
Oh, you meant you entered something wrong for the number portion.
No, I'm just thinking numbers too. But operator, I put in a number and it accepts just put in the numbers.
Right.
We'd have to.
Oh, shit.
But we probably should use float, shouldn't we, instead of init?
There's something else I need to teach you guys. I need to add it to the curriculum. What's up? Float? Yes, you're right. It should be float.
Okay, because I just realized when we put like 1.1, it totally screws up.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you want to explain what a float is for the people who have not been here in the past?
I'm not going to explain it good enough, so no.
No. You're going to explain it good enough.
It's the entire number line.
Yes.
So it's instead of integers or just, does it include, yeah, I think so. 0 through, it's all positive numbers, but only whole numbers, right?
An integer is only whole numbers.
Yeah. And then,
A float includes decimals.
but we,
So this should still work. Let's find out. So, there we go.
but if we wanted, oh yeah, okay.
So don't worry about doing numbers correctly for now. There's something I haven't taught you yet.
So, would it be something like if string operator scan next blah blah blah, else error message or repeat?
Right thinking.
But that execution.
Um,
Wrong command. I know what I'm trying to think of. I don't know.
actually, let's do this differently.
So while,
Whoops.
so when we use while, we have to define all the values.
So let me show you. So first, let's create an array of strings. Okay. We'll call it valid operators.
So should we define that at the very beginning,
You could,
or does it matter where? Like for,
as long as it happens before you use it, yes. However, that is good thinking. For clarity purposes, you probably want to put it at the beginning.
so you, before scale.
Well, as
Doesn't
long,
matter, right?
yeah, as long as you put it before you use it, it doesn't matter.
But I mean, for like good code writing, where would you usually stick it?
I mean, honestly, I'd be writing a calculator completely differently. But for this way, at the top is probably good. Because, so, when you have, as long as you name your variables properly, it's not a problem. Because what we're going to do is we're going to check if the operator is a valid operator. And so what we're going to do is valid operator contains operator. That just makes sense. Because we have good variable names. So now we can do, while not, now does this make sense? This loop right here.
So instead of saying while looking for valid stuff, if it's not one of the four that's in the array already,
Then we should ask,
it's asking us to do something.
yes,
Well, we're probably going to ask for input again,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Then, and all that stuff. Do we need the first part? Because it's a copy of the code again. Is there a way to get down to the first 3 lines before while?
There is. So does this make better sense? Let's actually make sure this works. Oh. Oh, whoops. We can't redeclare it after it's been declared. So, remember earlier when we were comparing arrays and arraylists? Simple arrays don't have a contains function. So we want to use an array list instead. Let me check something real quick, guys. Sorry, there's got to be a better way to... let's try. Okay. I'm going to show you guys some crazy voodoo magic real quick. Man, maybe I should have taught objects before doing data structures. Shit.
So we got rid of the string, right?
Yeah. So give me just a second to... Sorry guys, give me a second. Honestly, this is embarrassing. I did that. Oh, really? Oh, gross. See, oh. Okay. That's so dumb. I hate the inconsistency. There we go. So, crazy voodoo magic going on here. List is another type. This is going to be a little bit confusing because I haven't taught this to you yet. But an array list is a type of list. Okay? Since an array list is a type of list, we can just use a list. Well, actually, that's not entirely the reason, but roll with it. And arrays is a helper function for working with arrays. And basically, by doing it this way, we're getting a list instead of a raw array. Okay? The reason we want a list is because the list has that contains method that we were trying to use. Okay? So just remember when we did math.random and math.square root and all that stuff like a long time ago? How math was kind of that helper library? Arrays is the same. So arrays that has this asList method that takes in a list of values and then outputs it as a list. Okay? And this list is very similar to an array list, like we did earlier. Okay? So that gives us our valid operators in an array list, and then this list type has this contains method. Whereas the raw array did not have contains. That just doesn't exist on a raw array. Okay? Does that make sense? Cool. So now we have a list of valid operators, and we check to see if it contains that. So now if we try this,
down to the operator section.
Is it running for everyone? Because we are almost out of time. Oh wait, no. Yeah, no, we're almost out of time. In fact, we are out of time. But
I don't know, but I'll figure out next week.
so you have optional homework because I don't believe in homework. But if you want to, you can go ahead and implement the remaining operations. And I want to see if you guys can figure that out. Okay? You don't have to, but if you have some spare time, like I want to refresh myself on stuff, go for it.